We got Hiramax against Cross. Both these players are Japanese players, so we'll have a fun time watching them. Now, I think Hiramax just finished their run in the Zodiac, so I'm assuming that they didn't do too well, considering they got out kind of early, but not a big deal. Now, as far as this game, it looks like Hiramax is going to start with a mid-range hunter against a secret-based mage. A very interesting mage, considering we see a Vaporize in there. That's a card that we don't really see run pretty much at all. But hopefully we'll see some awesome things from it. So as far as Cross's start, he is just going to start with a ping, nice and slow. Now this is probably a very control-y based mage, I'm guessing, with the flame cannon in there and such, so it might do fairly well against this mid-range hunter. The hunter is able to get out another minion after his first one dies. Now, here comes Cross's first minion. Definitely a huge threat for Hiramax to deal with. Maybe a freezing trap would be nice, considered it was coined out. Hiramax debating on whether to kill command it. Looks like he's going to go for it. That's going to be a nice clean kill. Get the spiders rolling. And now Cross is faced with... He could do a Kirin Tor Mage if he wants to, but depending on what secret he needs to... Maybe a counter spell is probably the best. You probably don't need to worry about the spiders getting vaporized. Yeah, he goes with a counter spell. And Hiramax is able to take care of that Kirin Tor Mage pretty easily with the bow. Now he's going to be able to test the secret. Now bows do not count as spells, so the counter spell did not affect that. What will affect it in Hiramax's hand is the freezing trap. The freezing trap will be counterspelled potentially if nothing else comes out. Cross looking maybe to develop a anti-killbot, but that might not be the best, considering we'll just die to the weapon. Now if Hiramax decides to go for the freezing trap, that means the counterspell will go off and the weapon will not be able to get any more durability. And Cross realizing that that play is kind of vulnerable, so he might be thinking just to ping this down. He's not under too much threat. Okay, so he goes with the counter, or the anti-kill bot. So now Hiramax might be trying to get the freezing trap up, just to hopefully get more value out of the weapon. But that might not be the most beneficial play for him, but he could develop a Sludge Belcher. Looks like he's just going to weapon attack. Now, he has not tested Mirror Entity with this, so he's kind of hesitant on what to play. He might just play a Mad Scientist, but that would be pretty nice for a secret-based mage to get up. But he's not going to play anything, it looks like. Not wanting to really figure out what that spell is, or what that secret is at least. And Cross also playing very slow. Flame Cannon does go down just to kill a 1/1 minion, so kind of interesting. Okay, so Hiramax is probably going to develop the Haunt Creeper just to test Mirror Entity. And now he is able to decide that that is not Mirror Entity and it has to be something more spell-based. He's already tested stuff like Ice Barrier, so he might be thinking that it may be like Ice Block or some spell-based thing. So Toshli is an interesting play. Definitely a nice minion. And we'll see what tricks Cross has for those spare parts. He might be running Antonidas just as a more of a control-y card. Dr. Boom would trade really nicely with that Toshli. And then if Hiramax, or if Cross decides to do... Ooh, Sneasel Shredder. Okay, so this is a interesting deck. Cross is probably going to do some... So it looks like he's going to do some freezing. Oh, wow. He's just going to go for a big burst right here. And that's going to put his opponent down to about 13. 12 if he... Okay, wow. And that gives Cross lethal next turn with the fireball in hand. And there's no... Wow, okay, so Cross is... That's an insane play. Recognizing that. And here Max has to kind of figure out how to deal with this. The freezing trap will be counterspelled. Lotheb will try to save him, but it's not looking very good. Oh, alright. So looks like our first game of the day is going to go to Cross whenever he decides to do the fireball.
Well played.
And this is a best of 3. There's no deck rules, so these guys are allowed to go one more time without any deck restrictions. Awesome, 14 life for Cross. Here Max is down to Cross by 1 game, and it looks like both of them switched decks. We got a mech mage versus a hand warlock. Now this is a kind of a funky matchup. The mech mage can get an insane start and just devastate the hand warlock, or it can get kind of an awkward start, and then Cross could get some nice AoE. Looks like he already does have. And a Doomguard. Okay, so this might be... I'm guessing this is going to be a hand/demon warlock. Okay, we did see several giants, so it looks like we're going to go more towards the demon. Now, I would say that the demon warlock is slightly favored. It has some nice creatures they can get out, and some nice answers with the Hellfire and the Implosion. And some heals with the Antique Healbot, so... Cross looks a little bit favored, but it all just kind of depends on how he plays this. Abusive Sergeant just for the minion, and he's going to take 5, it looks like here. Oh, he's going to do the Blast Mage. Blast Mage is going to clean everything up real nicely for him. And that leaves Cross with a potential Implosion. He could try to get lucky and hit the 4 onto the Blast Mage, or just go safer and hit maybe a 3 onto the Mech Warper. He decides to develop a minion instead, and he gets his Molten Giant in time. So, almost at the exact same time that Hiramax is threatening to kill him, he gets his Molten, so that's nice. Timer Rewinder could be used on the Blast Mage next turn. Oh, it's going to be used? Whoa. Did he just... Okay, that was strange. He played the Tinkertown, then used the spare part that generated from the Tinkertown to actually replay the Tinkertown next turn. But that's alright, that'll work. Now, Cross has an interesting situation. He could Hellfire, clear the board basically, get a Doomguard out with 2 Molten Giants, but that'll put him down to 2 life. So he goes with the Antique Healbot, probably his safest play. And that's going to be... So it looks like Hiramax is 2 off lethal if he does the Frostbolt and a ping. So he looks like he's just going to develop the board. Now Cross needs to hopefully get a taunt soon, because I highly doubt Hiramax is willing to trade right here. Yeah, it's going to be a face pound. And no taunt, but he can trade quite a bit and get a Doomguard out. Whoa. Oh, he just goes for lethal. Nice. Cross wins with 3 life. Wow, alright, that works. We have Cross against Eladin. Cross is a Japanese player, and he is currently our Tree Topper with 1 win streak against Hiramax, and Eladin's going to be playing against him. Looks like we have a...
You asked for it.
Is this a Mech Mage? Let's see what the rest of the cards are. As far as Eladin's hand, it looks like a Demon Warlock. Might be mid-range style. And then Cross is still in the mulligan phase. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting deck from Cross with the Mana Wraith. Oh, so this is the secret mage that he played earlier. He was able to beat Hiramax with the secret mage with the some insane face damage at the very end. So we're probably going to see something similar to that. Now the mirror entity, I'm kind of curious on how it exactly works with the Void Caller. So if you kill the Void Caller when it's your opponent's turn, will they get the mirror entity to proc on whatever demon? I don't know. Well, I'll probably have to test that. Hopefully we'll get to see it in this game, but I'm guessing no. It's kind of one of those obscure things. So Eldon's able to tap turn 2, and he has a Harrison, and he's running a Kel'Thuzad, so some interesting tech. Mirror Entity is going to go up, and it may just get a Shredder if he coins out. Okay, so no coin out the Shredder. It's just going to Mortal Coil, and then, so we have Mirror Entity up. The second secret will be a Counterspell. Okay. So the Counterspell could get eaten up by the coin. Eldon could go for a coin just to test it, and then the 5 mana thing that he could summon is Lotheb. So he's just going to lay down a Twilight Drake, so that's going to get Mirror Entity to 10 health. Wow, alright. So that's definitely a high value. And here we go, Crosses has a really nice board and no threat at all, so he might want to play this safe and not get himself too vulnerable to AoE, considering the Shadow Flame is there for Eladin if he wants to use it. But looks like everything's going to go to face. And Eladin is down to 7 life while Cross is at 29. The Taunt Giver comes in hand, but he's really almost forced to do a Shadow Flame here. That's gonna get counterspelled. Now, can Eladin survive this? No, he can't. He's just gone. Cool, so Cross is gonna take the first game with 29 life, and a nice quick win for Cross again. We're into game number 2 against these guys. Cross is up by 1 game and he is current Tree Topper, so Eladin has to pull out 2 games here to be able to take the Tree Topper title from him. And looks like Cross is going with a Demon Warlock this time. He pulled out the Secret Mage and was able to beat Eladin quite easily. But the Demon Warlock should be a little bit more fun. The Eladin is sporting a Recombobulator based mage with the chick in it. So this is going to be kind of fun. He might play like a Shadow Madness with the Recombobulator, just get some insane value. That's basically like a mind control right there. And Cross is able to start probably with the Zombie Chow. Eldon has a nice slow start. We might see the first action from Eldon actually being a Thought Steal. He's going to heal his Zombie Chow, no emote, but Cross does the emote.
Greetings.
Okay, so Cross has some nice turn forward plays with the coin and Void Caller. That could get a Mal'Ganis, that could get a Doomguard. And Eldon's does the Thought Steal and he gets 2 Imp Implosions, so rather interesting. I don't know how helpful those would be. They could potentially be insane. Like, you get a nice 4 damage Imp Implosion, clears a minion and sets up your board really nice, but to start looks like he might use one right here. He doesn't have anything else to really do. He does have the Recombobulator and the Shadow Madness together, so that could be really fun to watch. Oh, he gets a 2. Alright, so that's not too good. Here comes the second Void Caller. Now that means that this current Void Caller won't summon it, but it will summon something insane like a Doomguard or Mal'Ganis. Those are like the perfect targets. That's exactly what you do want to summon. But if he goes with this Defender Vargas, that means that there is a probability of the current Void Caller actually summoning a second Void Caller, which is not too bad, but it's not the greatest. Looks like a Shadow Menace. And that'll be nice, but the Zombie Chow does not heal up Eladin, so he's gonna stick at 19 life, but it was a nice clear regardless. And Eladin's forced to draw a little bit here. It's not going to get too much value at that pain, but it's just basically for a card cycle. Now, Cross is known to do some insane lethal damage. So, and that's exactly what he's going to go for. Against a priest, it might be a little bit dangerous, but... And the death comes in hand, that's perfect death. So we might see the death go down on Doomguard, and that's not going to be there for Mal'Ganis whenever that does come out, so hopefully he gets a second one in time. Or maybe he's running like a light bomb or something to take care of it, but right now he's not really there. Ellen's able to develop several small minions. The Recombobulator is there with the girl that steals a Cabal. So Imp Implosion's looking probably to get used on the Cleric. That's probably the most threatening thing on this board. Okay, so he does it onto the Loot Hoarder just to guarantee the kill. And he does kill the Cleric regardless. So here comes... He could Shadow Madness and then Recombobulator. And it might be pretty slick. The Recombobulator will get something for 4 mana. And allow him to keep the Shadow Madness effect. Alright, so here we go. Looks like... Yep, he's going to go for it. That's going to deny Mal'Ganis to come out for free. Now he may damage something with it, and then... So he should probably run it into the Argus. That'll put it down to 1 life, but then allow him to recombobulate it. Healing himself. Oh, he does not go for the recombobulator! Interesting. So he's guaranteed to save that for a Cabal. That works. So does Cross just sacrifice his Void Caller right here to get out Mal'Ganis? It will buff the Imp up to 3/3. Considering it is a demon.
I have no time for games.
Get in there, fight, maggot.
Okay, so he's not going to sacrifice it into the dude. He just wants to keep it there as long as possible. Maybe bait out a death with this Sylvanas, allowing to have Mal'Ganis stay as long as possible. Mal'Ganis comes out, and now the priest is kind of out of answers. That almost just looks like game. Oh yeah, it is game. Cool, so Cross wins with 23 life. This is Cross's third opponent, Noxus, and Noxus is a previous contestant.
You asked for it.
Cross has basically eliminated his first 2 contestants very handedly. And we need to see Noxus's hand, so let me just ask him. And then what we'll have to do is we'll have to reload the spectator mode, and that will allow us to see Noxus's hand once he has it up and running. So once he replies, we'll flip this around. Looks like Cross is running his funky... I think this is like the secret mage deck that he was playing, so... Kind of an unusual deck, but it's worked very well for him. Let's just leave this, see if we can re-see it. Noxus, yeah, we can re-see it. Okay, so... Load into Cross. Cool. Alright, so it looks like Noxus is running the standard oil rogue, so nothing too fancy. So this mage might throw Noxus off a little bit, considering the mage is not very standard at all. And first off, we're going to start with 2 unstable portals from Cross. Now this is going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to see some awesome minions. The first one's able to get the Beast. Nice, that's going to be a lot of fun. That's generally a 6 mana card, but he's going to be able to play it for 3 mana, even though he did invest 2 mana to get it, so it's basically a 5 mana card now. Noxus is going for a... He might throw down the Thalnos, but that's probably not the best. Looks like he's going to go with the coin Farseer. And that will challenge the Mana Wraith, but the Mana Wraith could just kill it if he does another unstable portal. Or you could just go a little bit safer rather than going with the RNG and just go for a Frostbolt to keep his Mana Wraith alive. And it looks like that's what he does. So the Mana Wraith could potentially get up to 4 attack next turn with the Unstable Portal. And Noxus doesn't have a nice minion to answer with. He might throw down the Thalnos just for a card draw, but the Violet Teacher is probably going to be played next turn. He already uses coin. Woody, do you think that... I'm not sure if he would want to sap this Mana Wraith, considering it has a fairly high attack now that several spells have been played. It looks like that's what he might be wanting to do. And that would just be one of those plays where it's like, wow, the rogue is really behind. But he goes for the cycle. Now here we go with the second Unstable Portal. And then he's probably just going to ping the Thalnos away. So Cross has a few good options. We could see him hover over Mad Scientist. He may potentially play the Beast. But I vote either Mad Scientist or Unstable Portal just to leave the ping open. But looks like he disagrees with me. He's just going with the Beast, which is cool. That works. He's going to kill the Thalnos. And that will leave Sap probably for the Beast. Now, when the Beast dies, considering it has just a huge amount of stats, the Beast will give over an opponent a 3/3 Finkelhorn. So, even though it was summoned for 3 mana, it will be kind of scary. Looks like Sap is going to go down. That's going to put it back to the hand for 6 mana. And there we see. Nice. So, Unstable Portal. Just get the guy up to 4 attack. And that's going to allow him to ping down the Violet Teacher. And he gets this Priest card that gives friendly mechs plus 4 health. Now, if he's running any mechs, I'm guessing that it would be anti-Keelbot, so he might be able to save that for that, but so far we don't see any mech synergy just yet with that Unstable Portal draw. Noxus is just going for the cycle. He's able to get board control back, even though it's only 1/1s. He does have double Blade Flurry, which is kind of interesting. He doesn't really need that this early. He would want it kind of later. He has the sprint. He already used 1 prep, so maybe he's looking to get a prep here soon. So we might see... Okay, so just like... So if he plays the Priest mech card now, that means that he realizes that he has no mech synergy, but it is a huge minion that he basically played for 4 mana, and it looks like it's a standard 5 mana minion. So it's a solid play. And now Noxus is able to... He could like do something like an Abyss, Blade Flurry, that would clear the whole board and give Cross a secret. But he's probably going to do a much better play, considering that's kind of weird. But I don't even know what he could play. He might try... Okay. Oh, so he does go with the Blade Flurry Abyss. Okay. And the secret that we get for Cross is going to be a duplicate. So that means that this dude is going to get duplicated. And it's going to be duplicated for 5 mana. And that's a mech synergy right there. So these dudes can be played with each other. They're both not going to get the plus 4 health. You have to play one first and then the second. And Dr. Broom comes down. That challenges the board real nicely. Noxus has already used 1 sap, so he's kind of in a funky spot right here. There's the prep, so he can do some plays right here if he needs to, but he doesn't have anything very good to prep. He might go with the backstab, just so that he'll actually be able to use it, because you don't want to get the minion damage before you can use the backstab. That's what he does. Now, will he prep out a Fan of Knives? That might be a possibility.
Choose soon.
Looks like no. Okay. Or maybe yes, actually. Okay, so he's just going to use the token to absorb the moonbots. That's why he attacked first. I thought he might just trade in. But it looks like it's just going to absorb some moonbots. And he gets the Abyss for next turn. Nice. So the moombot, or the token actually soaked up 4 damage. So Nox is playing this quite smart. And Cross is able to develop a counterspell along with the 5/5 that he can buff next turn up to a 5/9. And the next backstab, that could activate the Abyss to kill Dr. Boom. And as far as minion development, he could start with a Shredder. That would leave him with almost no more options. But we do have the counterspell up, so he has to... He might throw out the backstab, that's going to get counterspelled. But he doesn't know what the secret is yet. It just came up, he hasn't tested anything whatsoever. He's probably thinking a mirror entity, but now he's going to get disappointed and see the counterspell. And this, he's going to use the Shredder probably to activate the Abyss now. And as far as the other 2 mana, he might just attack the face and then redagger, yeah. So the Rogue's looking a little bit desperate, but hopefully he's able to pull it out. Rogue's going to do some insane bursts, especially if they keep that minion on board. Which they probably will, unless a Fireball comes out on the 2 mana random.
Repairs available.
There we go with the buff. And the Frostbolt. Ooh, the Frostbolt to face! Wow, so Cross is having lethal next turn with the Fireball in hand. And Noxus doesn't have any taunts, doesn't have any heals, but he is able to sprint. He's already used both preps and 1 Farseer. So he can sprint probably pretty much into nothing. And that's almost going to be game. Just have to wait for Noxus to try to figure this out. I don't see any way that he can win, but he might be able to figure out something better than I can. So it looks like he's going to go with a big Blade Flurry. If he can actually kill it, I kind of doubt it. He's probably going to have to trade in his guy. Ooh, and he gets the worst possible minion. Alright. Well, that's going to be game. Noxus is able to clear the board after sacrificing his burst potential. Because both Blade Flurries were used, and there we go with the lethal. Another Fireball was top deck just to make sure, but Cross is not going to BM, so he just wins with 18 life. Cross is currently up by 1 game against Noxus, and as far as decks, looks like we have a Ramp Druid with double Wild Growth in the hand against the Demon Warlock of Cross. Cross has defeated 2 opponents so far and is working on his 3rd without losing a single game, and all the games have been quite convincing as far as wins. And Noxus is running a huge Ramp Druid with the Ancient of War. So no Innervate just yet, but he does have the double... Ooh, wow. Double Wild Growth with double Ancient of War. So he keeps the coin. Now, will he double Wild Growth is a thing. Sometimes you want to keep one just for card draw. You don't need mana that fast, but he may not have anything else to play. Ooh, the Kel'Thuzad. So this is like the ultimate Ramp Druid. One Wild Growth goes out. That's going to give him 4 mana next turn without any plays. Cross is able to life tap, so nice slow start. These guys are getting their huge amount of potential in their hand. Ooh, so Ascension comes onto field. That might be a nice play right here. Or he could just, considering there's no threat from Cross already, he could just do the 2nd Wild Growth, get up to 6 mana next turn. But he does the Ascension, so putting the pressure on early. And Cross is probably realizing that this is a super ramp, and as far as demons that can be summoned from that, pretty much 0. No demons will come out if that Void Color dies right here, right now to the Wrath for 1, and then plus the attack from Ascension. But Noxus doesn't know that, so he might be very, very sketchy about actually playing that. So it looks like a Grove Tender is going to come down for 1 mana, I'm guessing. Yep, so 1 mana to both players. You can play that card to get 1 extra draw. It's used in Ramp Druid, or I mean in Fatigue Druid that way, but right here we're going to see the mana. And with the 6 mana that Cross just got, he is... is he wanting to get a power overwhelming? That's probably not the smartest considering he has 0 demons in his hand. But now we're going to see probably a Kel'Thuzad from Noxus next turn. That might be kind of sketchy considering the Siphon Soul isn't in hand for Cross. So I would want him to play... Alright, so the Mortal Coil is going to come out. And it draws a Nerubian Egg, so both Nerubian Eggs. And Cross has a few activators with the Shadow Flame. I mean, with the Hellfire, with the Power of Only, with the Defender of Argus. Now... there is a nice trade for Noxus if he wants to throw down the Kel'Thuzad. He'll revive his Grove Tender back and deny any demons coming out from Cross this turn. So I would like him to see that, but hopefully maybe he feels a little bit nervous about actually killing the Voidcaller. But you just gotta man up sometimes. He's gonna go for it. Nice. There we go. 0 demons come out, Grove Tender gets revived, and Noxus is off to a good start. Cross, let's see, he's probably going to Siphon Soul that. That's the best Siphon Soul target possible. Probably in the game, beyond like Deathwing or something. But it goes, heals him up a bit. Now, the Big Game Hunter does come in hand whenever Giants do hit the field that Cross does currently have in his hand. Noxus may be looking to develop... he's probably going to Wrath for 1, trade his Grove Tender in, and then protect it with the Nation of War. Or he just Wraths for 3, kills it, and allows his Grove Tender to attack face. That leaves Cross with not very good plays. Now we have to notice that both Noxus's portraits have been golden. He had the golden rogue, now he has the golden druid. So this guy plays a lot. He knows what he's doing. But Cross is also a highly skilled player with the golden, and then he's also like rank 80 legend, so he is definitely way up there. He's able to develop the Nerubian Eggs. Noxus activates one of them, and will he swipe it down and allow his Grove Tender to activate the next? This is probably one of the better swipe targets. Oh, he's gonna hero power it. All right. That means that swipe will come down on one of them. And Ascension Shieldmaster comes out just to further develop the board. Demon Warlocks will kind of have insane amount of demons on, or insane amount of cards on board, but the 3 was probably pretty solid still. Cross, as far as his development, Zombie Chow looks decent, not the best though. He might do a power overwhelming type thing. But he was not looking for that. He was probably looking for a Shadow Flame, to be honest. He could have power overwhelming his Nerubian Egg up to 8 attack, Shadow Flamed it, killed majority of the board, and then Life Coil or Mortal Coil the last little bit. Looks like he's gonna get it up there a little bit. Oh, so he goes for the... looks like he was wanting to maybe get a Shadow Flame, but he doesn't get that lucky. Now Noxus, able to set momentum once again with the next Ancient of War if that's what he chooses. Should definitely hang on to that Big Game Hunter. You know that you're up against a Demon Warlock, so you know there's at least Mal'Ganis, there could potentially be Molten Giants, which we do see. Trading in his Grove Tender, which has been on the field since like turn 6 or something, so it's been on here for a while. And there we go with the next Ancient of War. Noxus is really needing Ancient of Lore to actually get some card draw, but so far he's doing alright. Cross starting with the life tap. Looks like he's going to go for a Dr. Boom. I think that would be a nice play. Maybe a Sylvanas just to trade into the board, maybe potentially steal something. Getting down to that nice life total for Moltens to start coming out. He did get a second Void Caller, but no demons just yet. We know that he's running Doomguard, we know he's running Mal'Ganis. We have not seen the Jiraxis. We have not seen like a Floating Watcher or anything like that. So he does Sylvanas, does Zombie Chow. Sneed's all Shredder, great top deck. So it looks like Noxus's Druid deck is not running any parts of the combo. Usually when you have these huge minions in here, you do not have any part of the combo, but he does not want to play it here considering the Sylvanas could potentially just steal it. And he can't trade his board into the Sylvanas to kill it, so he's in an interesting spot. It looks like he's just going to ignore it, get his opponent's minions mostly dead, and get his own minions as low as possible, so if potentially one of them were stolen, he could kill them as easily as possible. He probably does not want to throw anything down right now. We might just see a hero power and then pass. So it looks like
Waits for no one.
I would have felt more comfortable if he would have just made the trade with Ascension into the Argus, considering it could potentially just be stolen, and he wants it to be at a nice low life total when it does. But Cross right here might just trade those Sylvanas into the Ancient of War, see what it steals, and then work from there. Starting with the life tap, Mal'Ganis comes out. So he's guaranteed to steal the Ancient of War with 5 health, and that's a really solid play. And here we go. Big Game Hunter will do some work, but that is an insane board for Cross. Especially okay. So probably start with the Ancient of War. Lore. Get some card draw. That will leave him 3 mana to do the Big Game Hunter, and that's probably the best you can do. Sneeds is an interesting play. That means a coin Big Game Hunter, and he's just going to leave the war in there for a card draw a little bit later. Anti-Killbot. So we might just see the Void Caller traded in here into the Big Game Hunter, get the Mal'Ganis out, and then maybe a life tap after that, considering you'll be immune to the damage, and just get the card. We might see the Molten Giant trade into the Sneeds, see what he gets. Okay, so he's just gonna go for face. Oh my gosh. And Noxus needs something. Yeah, I don't know if he can actually draw anything to win here. He needs like a Life Seeds into a Starfall. But we know that's not actually run in anything but Fatigue Druid. Okay, that could be played with the Innervate, so that's going to help him a little bit. But that's still lethal, especially with the Boombots. But Noxus has to throw it out. Hopefully he gets lucky. Maybe he gets his own Mal'Ganis out of the Sneeds that may die to the Boombots. Oh, and we do see Jiraxis, alright. So it looks like Cross is running those 3 big minions. Doomguard coming down. And there we go. Cross wins with 10 life. Okay, here we go into game 1 of this best of 3. Wuja style is our first. Okay, we can't see his hand, so we need to just let him know. So it looks like Cross is going to start with the Secret Mage that we see them played several times. And it's a very fun secret mage. He has a lot of cool lethals in there that he usually grabs. And once Wujin Style is able to set this up, we'll reload the spectator mode and then go right back into this game. So considering he didn't reply and he's able to play, we'll just wait a little bit. So they might be playing a mirror deck. You do not see Mana Wraith in a lot of decks, but it looks like these guys are running it. Cross just has to reply. So we're just going to reload this. Hold on real tight, should only take about 5 seconds. Oh, okay, so we still can't see his hand. So we'll just jump into it, watch Cross and let him know. And we might have to spectate this from one side, considering Wuju's Style is not able to hit the mode. And all he has to do is go to right here, and then allow friends to spectate my games. That's all he has to do, but we'll see if he actually does it for us.
Job done.
So he might be an international player. As far as the secret, we can't even see the secret. So he might, yeah, it feels like he's an international player, which means either Chinese, Japanese, Korean, which is cool. We love having them, but he had trouble understanding English. So unstable portal. So this signifies almost the exact same deck that Cross is playing, with unstable portals and the Mana Wraiths, but Wuju Style is able to get to a nice advantage. We're gonna reload this, just make sure that he was able to check the box. Yeah, nice, he did it. So we'll follow Cross as our main die, considering he's the current tree topper. And we'll be able to see Wuju Style's hand. Oh, he got Low Walker Cho from the Unstable Portal. So that'll be quite kind of fun. We're going to update the overlay to make sure everything is good. Everyone understands exactly what's going on.
What to do? What to do?
So as far as the secrets that are up, is that we got Counterspell and we got Mirror Entity. So this Mana Worm is going to get Mirror Entitied, but that's alright, it's only a 1 mana creature, so not a big deal. And this lore is going to provide some fun part of this game. Now lore gives, whenever a card is, or whenever a spell is played, it gives the opponent the exact same thing, but it works both ways. So that's how players do some crazy things. You may have seen some YouTube videos of this card getting use. And Cross gets his own Mirror Entity, so both Mirror Entities for each player get some pretty crappy minions. And this is interesting that they're running the exact same deck. I have not seen this deck specifically before meeting Cross play it tonight, so this might be just like an Asian style thing. Obviously it works great, so and he's just leaving everything alive. It looks like he's just gonna pass the turn. He almost threw down Low Walker Cho, but not quite yet. Looks like Cross is just gonna freeze the other Mana Wraith. That's going to bait out the counterspell. So Cross knows exactly what this deck is. Now he might do some fireballs. And he sets up the Vaporize. That's going to get the Mana Worm up to 3, kill the opponent's Mana Worm, even though it was a Mirror Entity. And Cross is able to hold board control, even though Wuju Style was able to set up pretty nicely. Now it looks like Warlock Cho might be just thrown out kind of as a target dummy, and probably not going to get much value from either player. It's just going to absorb 4 attack for Wuju style, allow him to extend the game just a little bit. It will absorb at least 1 attack, or maybe he just flame strikes here. It's going to be a nice clean flame strike, only killing 2 minions. Not the best, but will kill everything very efficiently.
I wonder.
Now he's really trying to think this. He only has spells in his hand, so he either has to attack one guy into it, ping it, or play the flame strike. So looks like he's going to attack, fireball the Acid Drake, and then attack the face with the Mana Wraith. That's going to allow him to keep more control, but hand Wuju style is able to have as much in the hand as possible. Sets down the Lothep. That's going to really block out Cross's next turn. He only has spells in his hand, so he might throw down an 8 mana duplicate. Oh, he could play Antonidas, but that might die to what's on field already. So if he throws down the duplicate, he's probably going to sacrifice his Mana Wraith, because he does not want that duplicated. He wants to get his high value water elemental duplicated. That's not what we see here. So we have to remind ourselves what the secrets are. We have Vaporize for 1, Duplicate for the second, which is going to get the 2 water elementals. And then Unstable Portal is going to come down. Or Sludge Belcher. Okay, so we're not going to see the awesome Unstable Portal action. We've had a lot of fun for it so far. So far we've gotten Warlock Cho, we've gotten a Beast, and we've gotten another crappy minion that I don't even remember, so it wasn't really worth it. The Beast was a lot of fun. It got sapped, sadly, though. First Wild Elemental from the duplicate does come down, and that will work nicely. He might want to throw down the second, or he might want to ping just to start working on the Sludge Belcher. Because if he pings now, Sludge Belcher will attack. Wait, so he doesn't go for that. Flame Cannon. Yeah, these guys are running pretty much the exact same deck. We've seen a Flame Cannon in Cross's deck before. In, like, when he faced it against Hiramax. Oh, and we get a... Alright, so we get a Summoning Portal, which, remind everyone what it does, considering we don't see it on ladder pretty much at all. Your minions cost 2 Lex, but not less than 1, so it's like, it's good for... It was used in Zoo Warlock maybe at one time, but it just dies too easily to any removal, so it was pretty much taken out of Zoolock. Maybe that was like when Radon first introduced the deck, but not used anymore. Now, Cross doesn't have anything to work with his Antonidas, so he doesn't really want to throw that down just yet. The Vaporize still has not been procced yet. So, to remind everyone of what Vaporize does, it's whenever a minion attacks your hero, it gets destroyed. So, oh wow! Kazan Mystic is top decked. And it's cheaper just because the Summoning Portal, so here we go. Wuju Style is going to steal that card. And now we have a slight board advantage. No more hand advantage for Wuju Style. That goes over to Cross. And looks like he's just going to Hero Power and pass. Maybe a Mirror Entity, maybe not. Okay, nice, Mirror Entity. So Cross knows that one Mirror Entity was played from Wuju Style. This might be the second. Ooh! But this potentially could be Counterspell, so he might test it with Unstable Portal. Sylvanas. Okay, so that'd be a nice Flame Strike. I like that. But he could worry that it is Counterspell, but the Flame Strike would go through considering it's just Mirror Entity. So he's gonna test. And he gets Ascension. That's really solid. So it looks like the Ascension will kill off. So I think he did that to protect... Okay, never mind. I was thinking that he did that to protect his Vaporize, but Wuju Style stole the Vaporize, so that's not really a thing. And now Wuju Style is faced with a pretty crappy hand. He has a Vaporize up, but Cross knows that, so he has to just
What to do?
kill the minions. It's kind of like an explosive trap. It only gets procced when minions actually attack the face. So let's see how Wuju kind of plays this out. Now as far as plays, he's probably going to go with a ping on the Sludge Belcher or a ping onto any of the taunts while throwing his Kazan Mystic in. The Sylvanas is probably going to stay alive for a little bit, or Cross can ping his own Sylvanas down to potentially kill it if it trades into the Sludge Belcher Slime.
I wonder.
And here we go with the ping onto the Sludge Belcher.
Time runs out on me.
And that's almost all that he can do. He might Frostbolt this engine. I'm thinking that he might, just to kind of keep board control. But now Cross is able to Flame Strike. He knows that the secret is Vaporize. So he's almost not tempted to Flame Strike. He wants to kill everything on the board anyway. So we might see Sylvanas go into the Summoning Portal after he pings down and attacks the slime.
What to do? What to do?
Still no Antonidas Synergy. So probably a Mad Scientist. Looks like he's going for the Flame Strike, and then he may be using the slime to actually proc the Vaporize. And that would be a great play. Oh, so Antonidas is going down.
Well played.
So maybe Vaporize onto the... Yep. Oh no, never mind. So he's gonna leave the Vaporize up. I thought he might just Vaporize the Sylvanas to actually steal the Summoning Portal, but considering he doesn't really need it, this is not like a minion-based deck, he keeps his Sylvanas alive, values that a little bit more.
Well played.
And now Wuju's Style is forced to ping that so it doesn't eat up the Vaporize. The Vaporize will probably get eaten up by the Ascension Shield match. Okay, so Cross takes it with 19 life. Bravo! Looks like Cross is setting up with his Demon Warlock and Wuju's Style is flipping it to a Face Hunter. So Face Hunter I think fares pretty well against Demon Warlock. Cross will have some healing, but most of his minions will just do damage to himself. And he gets a nice starting hand. He's able to kill off the Leper Gnome. And Wuju's Style has kind of a slow hand. He wants maybe a little bit more 1-drops, maybe a couple 2-drops that are not Owl. But hopefully he'll get that in the next turn or two. And Cross looking like he can answer this very nicely. He has double Imp Implosion, and the Imp Implosion will kill anything that this... kill anything in reason that this Face Hunter will summon. And Wuju's Style is able to get a Hana Creeper. That's probably exactly the top deck that he needed. Cross goes for the life tap. Ooh, and he gets another Motor Coil. That's good, that's good. So he's able to coin out a Imp Implosion next turn, probably on this Animal Companion. Ooh, and he gets a Misha. That's, I feel like that's the best to get in this situation, considering an Imp Implosion is almost infinite. Cross has to get lucky here. If he gets 3, that's decent. He can just Mortal Coil it down next turn. If he gets 4, that's perfect. He's going to save himself 4 life. He may just do a Void Caller. I may be reading this wrong. The Void Caller will summon nothing right now. So the Void Caller will just be a dummy minion. Maybe a bluff. Wuju's Style is probably nervous to kill it. Oh, he's going for the Silence. That's strong. So looks like it's a bluff. And the Silence will be almost considered useless, even though there's a demon not in the deck, but Wuju's Style doesn't know that, and he's just going to go for it. Siphon Soul is going to help him out, but can't use this turn. Imp Implosion is not going to be used. He's not going to worry about the RNG, using the Mortal Coil just to start out. Zombie Chow is going to come down, but does he life tap down to 16? Probably not, right? Yep. Zombie Challenge just passed the turn. As far as next turn, he can do nice Sludge Belcher. Sometimes you see Sludge Belchers answered by a kill command, but Wuju style doesn't have that quite yet. He has the tracking if he needs to grab it next turn. Right now he's probably just going to develop a bow, maybe a hero power after that. When you're playing Face Hunter, in these later turns, like turn 5, turn 6, and on, you kind of want to hero power every single turn. Oh, he goes for the tracking. That's rather surprising. And as far as cards they threw away, he threw away 2 Knife Jugglers to get the Owl. So the Owl is in there just to take care of any taunts that come down. And he gets his opponent down to 12. Sludge Belcher's going down, and the Zombie Chow is able to take out the bird. Perfect timing for the... Okay, so just gonna silence. He doesn't want to... Will he do the kill command now, or just do a hero power with the Hana Creeper? I think Hana Creeper with the hero power is probably best. Goes with Unleash the Hounds. That's going to put opponent down to 9. If he attacks with the weapon, it'll be 6. Okay. So that is lethal next turn with the kill command and a hero power. He could kill all the beasts on the board right here, right now, with the Hellfire, but that will put himself down to 3. So that still will be lethal. He might be forced to Siphon Soul a bird. Yep, looks like he's going to Siphon Soul a bird. Kill off the other 2 beasts without popping the... And that means Wuju style is 2 damage off lethal. Oh, and he gets it! He gets the 2 damage with the Abusive Sergeant. So Wuju style has lethal right here, right now. Now that's going to be the first time Cross has been defeated tonight in any best of 3 series that he's played. And Wuju style is going to take this with 30 life. Okay, there we go. Well, it's tied up right now, 1-1. Well, game 3, the deciding match against these players. Both of them were playing similar decks in the first game with the mage. Then they went to a demon warlock versus a face hunter. Now we have a mid-range hunter with a gladiator's bow against a mech mage. And this will be kind of interesting. Wuju style, not the best mulligan. Cross will probably have a nice... Oh, okay, gets Savannah Highmane. So nice cards in the hand, except for that Savannah Highmane in the opener. And tonight is drawn a little bit too early, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Cross probably going to start with a Mad Scientist. He doesn't know what type of mage this is. Wuju style has played 2 types of mages so far, with this mech mage and then like a secret base control mage. Cross going not for the coin Mad Scientist. Now Wuju style is probably going to do a mech warper. I mean a Neutron. That will allow him to either do the Tinkertown Technician or the Harvest Golem. Mad Scientist coming down. That's going to be able to proc the bubble, but not do much else. Tinkertown Technician, solid drop. Nice 4 power on the board. And he gets a Whirling Blade thing that increases the attack by 1, so not the best for Antonidas, but decent. Here we go with the weapon to kill this off. And that means that we might see we're probably going to see a freezing trap from this Mad Scientist here shortly. Wuju style is able to get a Shredder out. But Cross may be forced to attack with this weapon before actually getting a secret out. Which means he won't get the extra durability. Or he might just try to play it nice and slow and not force anything out too crazy. Yep, Pilot Shredder's coming down. And Knife Juggler along with... Let's see what this hits. Okay, ooh, nice, clean. That's probably exactly what he wanted. So that allows him to keep his weapon in its slot. And as far as secret goes, it's probably a freezing trap. Let's make sure. Oh, it's a snake trap. Oh, wow. That is really good considering we have a Knife Juggler on board. And Wuju Style probably thinks that it is a freezing trap, so he's probably going to attack his loot hoarder into the knife juggler first, which will probably die to the snakes. Here we go. First one, not lucky. Second one is not lucky. Third one, last chance, is not lucky. Wow, alright. So that means that knife juggler is dead. But the extra durability to the weapon is good, so not a big deal. And now he has snakes to deal with. The mages generally don't run any AoE. So that Noitron is pretty much going to die very easily here, considering he has some nice bubble poppers. And as far as development go, Cross may be going with a Savannah High main. He might do like a Shredder plus a Web Spinner. He has some solid options. Dr. Boom for when that turn actually comes. Nice. Okay, so the Shredder comes down. And the Web Spinner. Okay, so he's going to do a nice curve into the Savannah High main, into the Dr. Boom. So the Mech Mage is going to have some serious minions to deal with here shortly. Now Cross is able to deal with the guy next turn, but so far a Flame Strike. Okay, so I just looked at Wuju Style's hand and he has a Flame Strike. That is a very unusual card. Usually Mech Mages don't run any AoE whatsoever beyond like a Blast Mage random style, but we're not going to see a Blast. We might see a Flame Strike a little bit later. It looks like he doesn't want to do it. Oh, he can't do it just now. I'm going crazy. He doesn't have the 7 mana to do it just now. So he just develops as much as he can and eliminates his opponent's board as much as he can with the hero power. Now Cross, probably easy Savannah High main turn. And as far as trading, he might... he needs to get rid of the mech probably soon just to kill off the Cogmaster. So he might throw his Shredder into the Spider Tank. And then maybe run his face into the Cogmaster. Well, actually, he might want to get the trap out from the Mad Scientist before running his face into anything. So we're going to have to see how that rolls. Yeah, he's starting with the Shredder. Get the mech out of the way. Oh, and he gets Millhouse Mana Storm! Millhouse Mana Storm. The best minion to get, possibly from Shredder. And we have seen that a lot. It feels... Okay, let's check the trap first. It goes with the Dr. Boom, it looks like. We have a Freezing Trap. Freezing Trap is great to work against this guy, considering you need a mech to buff it. So, the Freezing Trap is going to go down. He doesn't need to attack whatsoever. And Antonidas... Okay, we might see a Flame Strike here just to eliminate what's on the board. He's probably going to keep the Dingertown Technician on board just to eat up the Moonbots if he goes with the Flame Strike. Oh, he attacks first. Now he might be forced to Flame Strike. The Dingertown Technician is going to go up to 5 mana without any potential buffs. Now the Flame Strike, here we go. The Web Spinner is going to summon a Kodo. Nice. The Boombot's hit for 1 each, terrible, but the Kodo is definitely really nice. The Kodo is going to do some work against probably the Clockwork Gnome, at least is what we can see. Misha comes out, great minion to have against the Mech Mage, and Shredder. So it looks like Cross is potentially going to take this. He's gotten basically 4 durability on the weapon from the 2 traps that were procced. And Wuju Style looks like going with the Clockwork Gnome. Now the Kodo could come down. It will have plenty of targets to hit. The Kodo, anyone not familiar with the Kodo, it destroys any creature that has 20 mana, or 2 attack or less, but it looks like he's just dead. He's BMing a little, but he's able to win with 14 life, and that leaves Cross up to a 4-win streak. This is Cross's 4th opponent, actually 5th, I miscounted. This is Cross's 5th opponent, King Shuichi. Oh man, can we not see his hand? This is happening with everyone tonight. Okay, we need to let him know. Hold on a sec. Just take him a little bit. He is a new Hearthstone player, so he's just in here to have fun. This tournament is designed to be very easy to play, very easy to enter. It allows only one deck to be played at a time, and even in the main tournament, you only need to have one deck to play in the group stage and whatnot, so very easy to work with. So King Sochi is in here to learn. He's probably going to get ruffle stomped here, but hopefully... Oh wait, there we go. Let's check his hand out. Looks like it's going to be Zoo, just from the Leper Gnome, but his hand is a Zoo hand. Okay, so it looks like Cross is going with a funky mage with the Sneed Shredder. This might be a... Would this be the same secret mage that he's played? Every other card that he has in his hand does signify the same secret mage, except for the Shredder. He gets a... What's that? Goblin Sapper. And it's the anti-handlock card. Probably not the best against the Zoo Warlock, but you know, it is proc suddenly. But he's gonna probably play a few cards just to get rid of that proc.
Get in there, fight, maggot.
And King Shuichi is playing this quite well, even though being a fairly new player, he positions his minions right. He buffs up the proper things. And Cross could go with like a Frostbolt Ping, or he might just want to develop the Water Elemental. Water Elemental does not trade very well with the board, so that's probably what he's thinking about. But he does go for it in the end. King Shuichi has some funky cards. Usually you don't see Evelyn Archer in many decks, but like we said before, he is a new player. He's in here to have fun. He's in here to learn. And he's doing decent against this current champion that we have. Now Cross may be tempted to do the Azure Drake, but it will die straight away to the board, so he might be feeling the Sludge Belcher a little bit more. That'll trade pretty nicely to the board. It's going to eat up, you know, a majority of the demons, along with the Nerubian Egg. Life tap for Shuichi, starting with the Evelyn Archer. I think that he would just do a Harvest Golem instead, considering he doesn't have any, or he has a lot of one drops, so he might want to just play most of them. Okay, so he goes with that. Oh, interesting. He's going to trade in all his imps, and then that's going to allow his guy to stay alive. He goes with the coin, Harvest Golem. So that's forcing his opponent to ping next turn, which Cross does not want to do. He wants to lay down his Azure Drake, so that makes the turn very awkward. And Cross is just forced to Frostbolt and ping. We might see a double Frostbolt, but probably not. Not too much threatening on the board. So King Shuichi's having some good intuition about how to play this. Hopefully he plays... He needs to play the Imp here soon. Yeah, he looks like he's scared of AoE, so he doesn't want to play the Imp here, but Cross does not have any AoE, and it looks like this is just more of like a minion-based mage rather than a spell one, so we might not see any AoE in the hand whatsoever, maybe not even in the deck. King Shuichi looking like he wants to start with the tap. He might get the Knife Juggler out. Oh, he's going to go with the Power Overwhelming, kill the Azure Drake. Holding on to his Knife Juggler and all supporting minions. And he is just playing this really, really slow. He is like waiting for Cross to AoE his board. The Cross has no such options. And he is just like thanking Shuichi for playing so slowly. He's like saying, "Thank you, dude. I'll pay you my winnings of this tournament later." Shuichi, maybe he's gonna go a little bit heavier on board here. He might be wanting to do an implosion. Hopefully he gets kind of lucky. Probably start with the knife juggler with the implosion. And let's see how lucky he gets. This is going to be big. If he gets 4, he could almost just kill it. He gets 2. So we're sad. One knife is jug. Oh yeah. Both knives are lucky. He has one more chance to kill this. And he goes to face rather than... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Flame Strike finally in the hand. Now, King's Cross may... Looks like he's just going to Flame Strike first before killing any of the Death Rattles. Which is cool. That means that he could probably ping down the second half of the Harvest Golem. And that's going to allow his Toshli to stay alive. Nice, okay. Now, King Shuichi is in the life tapping mode, yet he has 2 imps that are going to deal a lot of damage to his face. And I think that he should have played those earlier, considering now they're almost like a liability rather than an asset. He does play 1, and this is where he's feeling kind of desperate. He doesn't go for the second one just yet. Cross has a little bit burst with the Frostbolt, but he's gonna go with Unstoppable Portal. Hopefully we get something fun to watch here. And as far as what we see, oh, Kodo. Kodo is good here. We have 3 targets for the Kodo. And as far as other options, he could do like a Sylvanas plus the Kodo. Looks like the Frostbolt. And that's going to eliminate the biggest threat on the board, and then the Kodo's going to eliminate whatever the hell he wants. He gets one of the Taunt Spiders, and then Toshli's going to remove the second. Duplicate might be going up, and that's going to guarantee he gets maybe 2 of the Toshlis. Cloak Field could be used on the Kodo, maybe, or maybe he wants to use the Cloak Field on the Toshli just to keep it alive.
Runs out on me.
Yeah, he's going to use it on the Toshli. Okay. Now this is almost desperation from King Shuichi. Hopefully he gets lucky with the juggle. 33% chance. And he gets it. Oh, wow. What? Okay. Interesting positioning on that Argus, but maybe he's trying to play around something. Now, full desperation. He might just be going completely to face with this, but no. So it almost feels like a slight misplayed considering the Argus was only buffing 1 minion, but maybe... So, as it currently stands, Cross is 2 damage off lethal with the... Oh, he's already used the Frostbolt, never mind. So we might see we might see like a antique healbot just to be safe, but that doesn't develop too much. You could just let the Zoo kind of run out of control. You'll just be waiting for the Fireball top deck. Toshli could be solid. Maybe a Polymorph is going to follow that up. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do a Toshli. He gets Cloak Field, he's probably wanting Taunt. So he could probably freeze something. That's gonna leave him pretty much with a ping after that. He's probably gonna ping the Knife Juggler. Okay, so he's gonna ping the Abusive Sergeant. And he's gonna Cloak Field. Okay. That's kind of almost feels pointless, but we'll see if it works out for him. Life tap. Now, the doggy does not give lethal, but it's going to be kind of close. The ping does not want to hit there. It wants to hit face. So he's 2 off lethal with a great board. And I'm guessing that this Zulok is not running anything like a Soulfire. Polymorph. Forced to come down.
Well played.
Got him. Nice. Cross is able to take that out with 2 life. Into game number 2 against King Shuichi and Cross. Shuichi is a fairly new player, So we might not have the most insane decks or most insane kills. Cross is a very veteran player that is our current tree topper with 4 win streak, and he is trying to grab his 5th right here. The current score is Cross up 1 game into this best of 3, and he is sporting a Demon Warlock, probably. He has played Demon Warlock several times, and King Shuichi is going with the combo Warrior. This might be an excellent thing to play against a Zoo Warlock, not Zoo, Demon Warlock, considering they kind of get their life a little bit low, and then once they get around to maybe about 20 or 15 life, you can just burst them down without them playing any Mullins whatsoever. So it looks like he's going to start with the Amani Berserker, and Cross is going to kind of be surprised by that. He's probably going to develop a egg. King Shuichi looks like he's going to Abusive Sergeant his guy. Probably going to go face. Nice. There we see the 7 damage come in. Now Big Game Hunter can come down here to kill off the Amani Berserker. That'd be a decent play. Now does he coin out? Yeah, it looks like he's going to coin out the Zombie Chow. Oh, he's going to coin out the Power Overwhelming and kill the Abusive Sergeant just to keep his guy alive and summon the 4/4. So King Shuichi might do Fiery War Axe with the Armani, but the Armani would just kind of get eaten by the Nerubian Egg. Now, does he armor up? Yeah, okay, so he doesn't go with the minion, he's just going to armor up. Now, generally you need to armor up last, so King Shuichi, it may not matter, he might not have Shield Slam in this deck, but that's kind of like a warrior standard. You want to armor up after you've already attacked with your weapon, not a big deal though. Cross is able to life tap and summon the Zombie Chow. Sludge Belcher's going to come down. Now, does he attack with the weapon? Yep, he does. That'll give him a little bit extra life and allow his Sludge Belcher to stay alive a little bit longer, but Mortal Coil is probably going to be the answer for that. Now, whenever Cross does feel threatened by whatever combo this warrior could pump out, he does that anti-kill bot, but we're not seeing too many parts of the combo just yet from King Shuichi. Oh, and he gets a nice 4 lucky strike on that dude. So Cross having some good luck finally. So this almost feels like it's a control warrior with a few enraged minions, and not exactly the combo warrior. We don't see any charge. We don't see anything that would signify the control warrior. I mean, besides the Worgen. That just might be just an extra minion in there. Now Cross can develop a nice Drake here. He can go with a Sludge Belcher or Sylvanas, so depending on how threatened he feels, he should probably go with, just looking at both the hands, probably go with the Twilight Drake after a tap. That'll get the most power on the board. And so he does not tap. He's just gonna let it slide. He feels like he has enough cards in hand already. And the 6 health will probably be plenty. He doesn't need the extra 7. Ooh, he's going to start with an armor up. And he might throw out both the enraged minions here just to get the enrage going, but they're probably... Okay, so he just throws out 1. Gets its rage effect up, and then throws down the 2nd. So that means the Twilight Drake is forced to trade into the Worgen unless he wants to take 8 damage. Now as far as the second one, the Armani Berserker is just going to chill. Probably going to die to the Sludge Belcher. Yeah, this is not the combo warrior. This is just his King Shuichi's own creation. Argus, hopefully, oh my gosh. Argus needs to buff 2 targets, so we're seeing a little bit of the inexperience come into play right here. And Cross is probably facepalming as hard as we are. But King Shuichi, like I said before, he's only been playing for a few weeks, but he's very welcome to play in this tournament. This tournament is designed to be very easy to enter, very easy to play, so we'll have him back as much times as he wants to try and wants to learn. But right now we're seeing a lot of inexperience come from him. The slam, or it looks like a cleave? Okay, he could get lucky with the cleave and not kill the egg. Oh, okay, so looks like he's gonna go with the Kel'Thuzad, and we have no like Siphon Soul for the Kel'Thuzad, so hopefully King Shuichi can pull this out with the revives from that. And there we go. The Armani Berserker is enraged with having as much health as possible, so we might see a Shadow Flame here to steal the. Yeah, that would be really solid. The Shadow Flame can go down. It's gonna steal the Kel'Thuzad and revive everything back up, like the Sylvanas.
My shield for Argus.
Go, go, Shadow Flame, please, please, please! Do it, do it, do it! Please do it. No, looks like he's not gonna do it. I'm moving to Shadow Flame. Yes, okay, looks like, yes, yes! Okay, good, 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 good. That's gonna be really devastating for Shuichi, but hell of a lot of fun play to watch.
I have no time for games.
Now King Shuichi is left with not the best hand, no minions for the Argus to buff, and that might just be game right here. He might just concede. Maybe he wants to play this out a little bit longer, let Cross actually do the dirty work of killing him. Forced to play out his cleaves. Maybe he'll get lucky one more time on Kel'Thuzad. Nope.
My shield for Argus.
Okay. So Cross probably has plenty to kill him. We can count it up. We have 11, we have 14, we have 16, 15. Looks like we might be a little bit short. Jiraxis does not help. Looks like we might just see a Siphon Soul just to heal him up. Okay. Siphon Soul on that guy just to steal that guy, and that's going to have Sylvanas res again. And Cross is left with the Whirlwind. He can use that to kill the Kel'Thuzad finally, but it's kind of pointless. Alright, so we're going to just write down Cross is winning with 16 life. And that's going to put him at a 5-win streak.